What's good? This is your girl Divine Karma coming in with a message. How y'all doing? I send you peace, light, love, and harmony as I always do about this time. Why? Because Divine Karma loves you, baby. How y'all doing? How you bees, right? How are you new earthians? What you do, what you know, what you love, all right? I'm recording on my fancy camera today, all right? I'm going to post this for my TikTok followers, right? You will be able to see maybe the first few minutes of this if I upload it on my other social medias, right? But you'll have to go to my YouTube channel, Divine Karma, and the topic for this video on my Divine Karma YouTube channel to watch the full video. All right, got my selenite. Topic I want to talk about today is a very touchy subject. Very, very touchy. A lot of people won't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but I am confident and very secure in who I am and how I move, right? Spirit speak to me, through me, and for me. And so I want to talk about this because it's something that I feel is going to definitely affect how we move in the new earth for those of us that will be moving in the new earth and already in the new earth, right? And have decided to you know, operate in this matrix only at will. And I think it's very important to understand the energy of bisexual, same-sex preference and things of that nature, right? So, you know, a lot of times, well, a lot of conversations that have happened, you know, and people talk about a lot is, and I don't judge. Let me tell you something. You love who you love. Divine Karma is pro-happiness. That's all I care about. If you're happy, then be happy, right? So I don't care who you love. Love who you love and be happy. But there's always been this conversation around, you know, you know, people say, you know, a person cannot be born liking the same sex, right? Is that possible? And you have a lot of people that would say, no, that can't happen. You will have a lot of people that say, yes, that it can. I'm going to talk about this on my channel today and where I'm at with it. And, you know, this is my channel. YouTube lets people have channels. If you don't like what I'm talking about, do your own channel. All right. But so when I came conscious, so to speak, and enlightened, or whatever you want to call it, about 10-11 years ago, right? And the first few months, my brother hooked me on to shout out to my brother Will I Am in Tennessee, told me to watch Dr. Delbert Blair. And he's transitioned now, Dr. Delbert Blair, but he was still, I think, was he still, no, I think he might have been transitioned when yeah. But I watched some of his lectures on YouTube. Dr. Delbert Blair, B-L, I think, A-I-R-E. And I kind of dove into his lectures like for 2 weeks straight and was just, mine was like, poof. So one of the lectures he was talking about the energy and frequency and things of that nature of, you know, individuals who are attracted to and date and be with, you know, same sex or bisexual, whichever one. I'll say the alphabet community because I'll sometimes get them wrong, the LGBTQ, and there's one more letter that's added, but all of you, right, as a collective, right, can people be born that way? And he talked about this on an energy and soul level, right, that really, really caught my attention. I watched it twice. I don't know if it's still on YouTube because it was like years ago, right? But I watched it twice and it made so much sense. And after I watched it, right, just through the years, just when I began to understand soul contracts and why we here and karmic debt and all of these things, right, and dealing with the Akashic records, like it really, really dawned on me that, you know, people get caught up in the physical aspect of an individual, you know, liking and dating and marrying or whatever have you, you know, same sex or bisexual, right? So here's the thing. I'm going to talk about this on a level of energy, frequency, and vibration, right? All of us come here on a contract, right? We all come here on a soul contract. The best way I can explain it is consider it like before you come here, right? Your soul sits down with who you might call God. I call it the divine consciousness, right? You sit down with the divine consciousness. Your soul does. Divine consciousness, like, you know, you going down to the earth again, you shouted. All right. And, you know, your soul is like, okay, I understand. I have some karmic debt that I have to pay, divine, right? Divine consciousness knows this. Well, you may call God. Yes, you have some karmic debt to pay. Everything has to be in balance, right? Everybody's karmic checking account, right, has to be balanced out through every lifetime by the end of that lifetime, right? So you sit there, you're like, yep, divine, I got some karmic debt, need to pay. Divine, like, consciousness, like, okay, what we on do? And your soul, you know, is playing this recording for the divine. Stop right there. Your soul, like, stop right there. So this little situation right here, I need to pay some debt off on that. What was the situation? Situation could have been in a past life. You may have harmed, even murdered, even or done something to an individual in a past life because you was feeling some type of way that they, you know, were bisexual or like same sex, whatever have you, right? And because of that prejudice, you did something against universal law, right? You may have harmed them or whatever the case may be, right? You sitting there, you got the pause on the pause button. God or divine is like, yep, you got to balance that account out. So divine consciousness says, how are we going to balance that thing out, right? Your soul is like, I know, I got it. I'm going to go back this time around. I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be bisexual or like the same sex. I'm going to be that because I need to know how it feels and I need to balance out my karmic debt. Okay? All right? Y'all with me? Divine consciousness is like, okay, you pay off that karmic debt. Your karmic balance at the end of this lifetime that you're going into, well, your karmic debt will be paid and you will be good to go. All right? All right. So, next thing you know, divine consciousness said, all right, sign on the dotted line. Your soul is like, bada, 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 boom. All right, pick your mother and father. You go through the catalog, da, 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 da. That's who I want, Jeannie Mae and Willie. All right. Bada boom, bada bing. You are in your mother's womb. This is my theory. So, can you come out of the womb like this? Talking about energy, frequency, and vibration and your soul contract. Absolutely. Because when you come out of the womb, your soul has already had a conversation with the divine and signed a contract to say, to pay off my karmic debt, this is what I am going to go through. And you don't just have to apply this to same sex or, you know, bisexual or whatever have you. You can apply this to anything. People have questions on why people go to, you know, why would God let people die at 10? Why would God have let a person get murdered this way? This applies to everything. Everybody has a soul contract. You have to come back here and balance out that karmic debt. So you come out of the womb, already have made this soul contract with the divine, who you call God, that you're going to go through this life as someone who is bisexual or likes the same sex, right? Why? Because your soul has decided before arriving here, I want to balance my karmic debt out in this life. I don't want to come back here as a human. You might come back next time as a cat, dog, bird, I don't know. But your soul has decided, I want to make sure I balance my karmic debt out in this life. I want to make sure that I'm balanced. Everything is balanced out. My debt is paid, right? So I don't have to repeat the humanity cycle, for lack of better words, right? You can go wherever it is that your next destination is, because we don't die. We're all energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed, only transferred. So wherever you finna get transferred to after this, you know, your soul, like, you know, I want to go back to the life with the Pleiadians when I leave here. I don't want to come back as a human no more. Your soul might say, man, you know what? I haven't been a damn rock before. I want to come back as a rock. And divine light, you can do that. But you need to pay off this humanity debt if you're going to do that. You come out of the womb, here you are. So, do I believe that you can come out of the womb as such? I absolutely do, because this was your soul contract and what you signed off on with the divine before you got here. All right? Y'all with me? Now, not to say that's for everybody. There are people who, in this lifetime, may have got molested by a same-sex individual, right? At a young age in this lifetime. And after that, they struggle with their sexuality. This is a known statistical fact that, especially at a young age, if an individual gets molested by someone of the same sex, a lot of them struggle with the victim. A lot of them struggles with their sexuality. Because in their mind, some of them may think, why would this person do? Did I seem like I was gay or that, you know, again. But even in that scenario, you still have two soul contracts at play, even in that scenario. You have the individual that did the molesting or rape, right? They came here on a soul contract. What if their soul contract was because they had to balance out some karmic debt, right? And then the person that got the same individual, the victim that got molested, you don't know what contract they signed to come here. What if they molested somebody in a past life and their contract was to come here to pay off this karmic debt? For it to happen to them so they can understand, overstand, and understand how that feels and pay off that karmic debt. We don't know these things. You don't know, and it's not our business to know what somebody else's soul contract is. Right? So do I think it can go either way? I absolutely do. I absolutely do. It could be a soul contract. But then again, it could also be a traumatic experience that has happened to someone and left them in a very vulnerable state. Now, some people say, you know, if it is this philosophy that, you know, if people, you know, go through some of their life in a, you know, regular relationship, a heterosexual relationship, and then at some time just flip, some people say, oh, it must have always been in them. You don't know this. Everybody's soul contract is different. Now, for those of you that's finna hit me with the, that's not in balance, that's not harmony, that's not in balance, overstand something. Balance means you have to have polarity. This is Hermetic principles, right? Balance means you have to be in a universal law and frequency of polarity, right? Have to be. So in order to have balance, in order to have polarity, it's the same thing, just at a different degree. Hot and cold, the same thing. Same parallel line, so to speak, different degrees. Love and hate. You got to know both to have balance. Same parallel line, different degrees. What? War and peace. Have to have it. You can't know the dark without the light. You can't know the light without the dark. That is polarity. It's universal law, right? That's how this works. We don't know what somebody else's contract is, right? So people say, you know, that's not in balance, that's not in harmony. Well, you can say that about anything that is so-called negative on this planet. Well, God wouldn't do that. God wouldn't make people gay. First of all, because I know people going to hit me with the, you know, God wouldn't do that. God puts everything in balance. Who y'all call God and this, that, and the third. First of all, God is not a he or a she. That's absolutely impossible. If you give a gender to God, you just put God in a physical body. Gender can only be in the 3D matrix. Everything else is energy. Divine feminine and divine masculine energy. God can never be a he or a she, love. All right? Can never be. And then you have, you know, we have war on this planet. People really think that, you know, the divine sat there and said when your soul was finna come back down to this planet, you better not go down there being on no gay You better not go down there liking the same sex. That is not how this works. Ralph Smart says all the time, the universe knows that a leaf is going to fall off a tree before it even falls. The divine knows that a snowflake is going to fall out of the sky and know the precise second it's going to hit the ground before it happens. So you mean to tell me this same beautiful entity does not know that individuals will come back here and will like the same sex or be bisexual? Of course it knows. How can it not know? It knows everything. People say that's not in balance. It's not in harmony. Again, if you are looking at this energetically and on a frequency and vibration, how else can you balance out your karmic debt on a soul level unless you two do the opposite degree of anything that is causing your karmic account to be out of balance? If your checking account is in the hole, it's in the negative. How are you going to get it to the positive, right? That's how this works. It's the same thing with karmic debt when it comes to your soul, right? Now, with that being said, we live in a society where nobody can get past the physical aspect of someone dating same sex or being bisexual, right? Judging, all of that. Let me tell y'all something, Christians. I don't do religion. So before anybody jumps in my comment section talking about Jesus is the light and the way and all this extraness that y'all finna do, let me save you some time. First of all, the man's name could never have been Jesus because the letter J wasn't even invented at the time. Clear that up. His name was Yeshua. Second of all, the Bible was written, the most infamous version of the Bible was written by King James. King James was a pedophile and a murderer. Say it one more time for the people in the back trying to put a biblical comment in my inbox. King James was a pedophile, slept with his little cousins and nephews, boys, and killed his own mother. This is whose Nicene Council sat down and said they wanted to write their version of the Bible. All right. Miss me with the comments. Christ, who is not a person. Christ consciousness is what's returning, right? People argue, this is why I don't do religion, because all the religions are arguing and saying the same thing at the same time. Most religions, the foundation is to move in love in everything that you do. You ain't never heard nothing about Yeshua talking about we finna kill Tommy, child. We gonna burn him. Because he out here dating Johnny. He got to go. No! Negative. So how you gonna tell me that you are going to follow Christ consciousness, but then in the same breath, a couple of same-sex walk into your church and the whole church almost shut down? Miss me with it. Miss me with it. I can't do it. So that's impossible. That's not how this works. How can you in one breath say that you move in Christ consciousness and you move in love but you prejudice because of an individual's sexual preference. Because again, I don't recall Yeshua, who y'all call Jesus, telling the 12 disciples, "Hey, get my people over here." Throw up the 12 disciple, Yeshua Garden of Eden gang signs and say, "Hey, disciples, hey, look here. Tommy and Johnny, I caught them out there in the garden kissing. Can't have it. They got to go. I know y'all was saving the cross for me, but damn it, we go get the cross. We finna go on there." No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You cannot be in the energy of Christ consciousness and be in this prejudice energy. And let me just say this for brown folks, brown people. The audacity that brown people have to have the nerve to be prejudiced against anybody, considering what they call our history on this planet, behooves me. Just behooves me. The audacity. Live and let live, people. Live and let live. You don't know what somebody else's soul contract is when they came here. You don't know. Yes, there has to be balance and harmony in this life. To co-create, yes. Need a man and a woman to co-create. Are we in a time now to where they are literally, you can literally order a child. You can literally pay scientists and tell them what you want your child to be, down to the hair, the eyes, what kind of skills they, like you can create, you can order a child right now and they have wombs that they have made just like the womb of a woman will put and create, and it will be in there for 9 months, and out and 9 months you will have the child that you ordered. Don't believe me? Look it up. These are the times that we in. Right? You don't know somebody else's contract. You don't know what somebody in this life have put themselves through or putting themselves through because they are trying to balance out karmic debt. It's not about wrong or right. It's about what they signed up for, because they want to balance their soul out when they leave here. And who in the hell are you, speaking to my religious folks especially, to tell somebody where they soul going when they leave here? Because they were in a same-sex relationship or bisexual. Who are you? Again, I want somebody to tell me when Yeshua caught Tammy and Suzanne and told them, that's it, you done. Hang them. Tell me. Don't come up with these crazy stories. Please, tell me. Let me tell you something. Newsflash for some of y'all Christians and religious folks. Some of y'all are going to come back here in another life when this one is done for this bullshit right here. Say it again for the folks in the back that's mad right now that I'm even speaking on this topic. Some of y'all religious folk you're coming back here again. You're going to sit down with the divine who you call God again. Your soul is. And when you play this projector back, stop right there. You judged, damned, disrespected, and didn't show love to had prejudice to an individual because of their sexual preference. How you gonna balance that out, love? You have to understand something. We've all been here as something else. I haven't just been here as divine karma. I've been here in a past life as a whole man. Just like you've been here in multiple shape, forms, and fashions. I've probably been here as a Caucasoid before. Might have been here as an Hispanic. Might have been here as a sunflower seed. Might have been here as a cloud in the sky. We all been here, and we've already done this. How are you going to balance out your karmic debt? Because I can tell you one thing. The prejudice that's on this planet, as a collective, not just this topic I'm speaking on sexual preference, but this is a business. They've created a business out of this. Watch Terrence Howard a few weeks ago. He said something that absolutely, and I'm paraphrasing, he said something along the lines of, what if we all for one day, instead of talking about what the Messiah did, whoever that is for you, or what the Messiah would do, what if we all for one day decided to be that Messiah and move in that energy for one day? For one day. They made a business out of race. They've made a business out of prejudice. They've made a business out of same-sex marriage and relationships, or bisexual, or they done gave them a whole alphabet name. The LGBTQ, it's all kind of letters. For what? Can't they just be who they is and then just regular? Why do we have to put them in this category? Who are we to put them in a category outside of anything that they have decided to be in this lifetime? It's the same thing with race and nationality. There is no such thing. This is why the division is on this planet. The sooner, let me tell you something about the people, y'all 1% that run this whole world. You know how they continue to do what they do and continue. 1%. There is 100 people, they say. But it's 1% of the population, about 100 and some change, that run this whole planet. I didn't say the country, the whole planet. But you know how they stay in the power with y'all? Because they don't run in my life. They stay that way because even though they have differences, when they have a common enemy or a common plan, you know what? I don't really like your family. We don't really like each other. But we have a common enemy. We have someone that they need to go. Or they need to be controlled. So how about we put our differences aside? We can't do that as a people. And they know this. That's why they've made a business out of race. They've made a business out of prejudice. They've made a business out of religion. Now, anybody that... Child. This is not how we move in the new earth. It's not. And let me tell y'all something for y'all brown folks running around here. Let me explain something to my brown people. I know who I am. I love my melanin. Do I also understand the gifts that come with this melanin? I do. Do I understand the science behind the fact that I have more melanin in me than other, what they call racist, and what makes me different? I absolutely do. I do. I understand. Understand. I do all of that. Do I understand neutrons, electrons, and protons? I do. Because of my melanin, I have all three. People that don't have as much melanin, they do not. They don't have the neutrons. I know who I am. Don't get it twisted. I know who I am. I know where I come from. But that's this. And that's this life. If you only stuck in the aspects of this life, and you are not trying to overstand your karmic debt, your shadow work, the lessons that you were placed here, if you are not trying to overstand what your soul contract is, why you were put here, why you have the gifts that you do, what are you supposed to be doing here to service the world? If you are not trying to overstand that, if you are not trying to tap into your Akashic records to see your past lives, what your karmic debt is, what is my soul contract here now, so I can balance this debt out, so when I leave here, I don't have to come back and repeat this again. If the only thing you worried about is this matrix, you already lost this game, love. It's over with for you. It's over with. I know who I am. Love this melanin. I know who I am. Scientifically, spiritually, energetically, on all levels, I know who I am. Been new. I'm past that. I'm past all the conversations about race. I'm past all the conversations about nationality. I'm past organizations. Sweetie, I am on a spiritual level, moving in my high self frequency, making sure that I am connected to the divine consciousness and source, so I can balance out my karmic debt in this life, so I do not have to repeat this. This is my only damn mission here now. Everything else that I've done thus far, we're already in the next war. We're already there. It's for your soul and your spirit. So if you only concerned about what you look like, your skin color, why somebody's skin color ain't like yours, you better than them because your skin color is better, whatever. You better than them, oh, they going to hell because he's a man and he dates a man, or she's a woman and she date a woman, and they going, if this is your concern right now in this life and where we at now, you part of the problem on why this planet cannot move forward in divine unity. We passed that. There's nothing more that I thrive for in life. A couple things. I know what my life purpose is now. That's why I'm sitting here on this camera right now. It's one of the things that you should be highly concerned with, instead of working your whole life at a job that you hate. The divine sent you here for a purpose. What is your life purpose? I've already figured that out. Everything I'm doing right now is to move in that direction. I still have a job because that job is paying my website fees, it's buying me cameras, it's doing all of that, but that's coming to an end. Outside of that, staying tuned in to my Akashic records, tapping into self, learning what self is, learning to know thyself, understanding what my karmic debt is, so I don't have to come back and repeat this. That's it. That's all for me. Y'all can take that nationality and who they like to say. If you still stuck in all of that, I need you to stay in the new earth, in the old earth. New earth people, y'all come over here with me where we don't care about any of that. And I know that's gonna hurt a lot of my brown folks' feelings. Now, not to say if you have a preference that you only date, brown folks or not brown folks or whatever. You can have your preference. That's fine. I have a preference. But is that what I'm focused on? No. It's not. So if you still worried about and telling folks that, are in a same sex relationship or marriage or bisexual or whatever have you, and I send all of y'all love, because the courage that it takes to go through to be you in this society that we in now, I understand it because my ancestors went through it, but just on a different scale because of this. So I understand because my ancestors have made sure that I understand. I can't move in prejudice. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is, as a collective, my spiritual people, that you tap into self and put all that behind you so we can move into this new earth, knowing as a collective, man, we can live how we want to live as long as we are paying off that karmic debt and fulfilling our soul contract that we made with who you call God and the divine consciousness. Because at this point, that's all that matters. And everything on TV, the news, the jabs, all this extraness that's going on in the world, if you are focused on that and making that your prime, you've already lost this game. You've already lost this game. So balance. Does everything have to be in balance? Yes, it does. Is it fair for you to tell someone you out of balance because you're a man and you like a man? They are out of balance on a very minute scale in the matrix. Because in the matrix and energetically, we know to mate, supposed to be a divine feminine and divine masculine, right? If that is not their case, soul contract. And that ain't none of your damn business about their soul contract. That's between them and the divine. And the divine. Not yours. And you can't tell somebody where they soul going. Because they came... This might be their last rodeo. They karmic debt, they soul contract. If you can come back here and make it through this lifetime with all the shenanigans going on against people of the same sex and bisexual or whatever have you, whatever your preference is, your karmic debt is paid and you can go back to whatever your planet is. Whatever your soul desires to, wherever your soul desires to go when it leaves here. Whatever that heaven is for you. How you don't know that's somebody's contract and they adamant about it? Out here doing what they got to do because they might not know why they that way. Trust me when I tell you they soul know. So when you speaking and telling this individual that they not in balance and they going to hell and all this other buffoonery that you might be telling them, you only speaking to the physical. Because they soul, as soon as you say it, it's like, psh, you don't know what I got to pay off to get out of this cycle. I signed up for this, bruh. Your soul, they soul ain't listening to you. They soul is like, to be honest, they soul looking at your soul like, psh, how you gonna tell me? I'm trying not to come back here, bruh. This is what I signed up for. Like I said, they soul know. They physical ain't gonna know because they physical is in the 3D matrix. But they soul is aware. Who are you to get in the middle of any of that? It ain't got nothing to do with right or wrong. It's got something to do with balancing out that soul contract. Balancing out that karmic debt to make sure when you done with this lifetime, you go where your soul is desiring to go. Stay in your lane, bro. Now, some people might think I made this. I'm a heterosexual. I date the opposite sex. But guess what? I have friends that date same sex. I have friends that are bisexual. Family members that are. Don't treat them no different. Why? What in the blue magic hair grease do that got to do with me and they soul contract and what they signed up here for to pay off their karmic debt? Not a damn thing. A lot of y'all gonna come back, especially you religious folks, gonna come back here and repeat this because of this reason right here. And it could be because of someone's sexual preference, because of someone's skin color, because of whatever. How about you start looking at people's soul? How y'all think the world would be if we dated people, but we didn't see their physical? We only saw their soul. What do you think their world would look like? Because the soul has divine masculine and divine feminine. What would the world look like if we couldn't even see the physical body? We can only see their soul. My soul can only see their soul can only see my soul. What would that world look like? Have y'all ever been somewhere and y'all see a couple, and in your mind you be like, how the hell did he pull her? Or how the hell did she pull him? It happens. We all been there. I done did it. Done it. And you like, how that happen? What you think happened? They got out of the driver's seat and let their soul drive. And met the love of their life. Because they wasn't looking at their soul. Am I saying people can... Attraction is a big thing. Yes. But do you know the level that you have to be on? That your soul is attracted to someone else's soul? And when y'all meet, y'all souls is like, I found you. No, not Miss New Booty. But I found you. What would that world look like if that was... What would the world look like if we did that? And it was just a bunch of soulmates running around because we fell in love with each other's soul. I'm just asking. So, I'm going to conclude this video. Y'all know the drill. I love you, and I love it when you love me back. I had a lot to say today. All right. If you're watching on any of my social media, and this full video is on my, Divine Karma YouTube channel. All right. I'll put the link somewhere. All right. This is your girl, Divine Karma again. Y'all know the drill. I love you, and I love it when you love me back. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.